real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, welcome everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. I really appreciate you dropping by today. Give a shout out to the Beach of Life and Jacob Tanjay. That's my NTZ crew right now for keeping the trolls away, keeping this place respectable and safe. We got a lot to talk about today. When your ship comes in, will she travel for you? And I want to talk about because people always ask me, what's a sure sign, Calvin, that she's okay? Well, there's really no guarantees, but I got a few tips that you can look for to see if the woman that you're chatting with is, on the up and up. But there's a few other things I'll start out with, especially what Dana's saying. He says, Russia versus Ukraine conflict affects airfare prices on a negative way. Well, yesterday when we came back from Cebu, we're in the tricycle and went by the gas station. It was 72 pesos per liter of premium gasoline here. That's the most I've ever seen it in my almost 13 years here. I mean, that's really amazingly high here. And I really couldn't believe it. I'm going to have her take a picture with me in front of that sign today. So, yeah, something's going on. And it's not good. That's a fact. Now, the good thing is the peso, the dollar's still strong against peso, 51.97, which you might as well say 52. I mean, that's phenomenal. And if you're over here and you're on the fence about sending yourself some money, I would do it. I would send it and go ahead no, I wouldn't send it. I'd use my debit card because you're going to come out cheaper now. Believe it or not, I ran the numbers on the last live stream I had. So I have to back away from saying that although it's expensive, it's not as expensive as these remittance services. I did the numbers, man, on $100. And when you send Zoom, based on they're giving, I did a 52, it was 52.31 peso to the dollar exchange rate. And I did $100. So on every $100 with Zoom, they're only paying you 50 pesos. So that's 2.31 pesos per dollar you're losing. 231. So on $100 sending Zoom, it's about $9.50, man. That's a lot of money. And the more you send, the more it's going to cost because remember, they're taking that off of your the principal, the amount that. So if you send 500, then that's 500 times. That's 5 times 231, and then the $4.99 up front. So yeah, it's either way it goes, you have to pay. But in order to get the prime exchange rate, you're gonna have to use the banks, use that ATM card. I found something kind of interesting too in the news today. In Korea, South Korea, they had 342,446 new COVID-19 cases. Now, guess what the Philippines had? 580. And I'm like, wow. Texas has always said diesel is 60 pesos per liter here in Davao, roughly $4 a gallon. Well, just about everything is cheaper in Mindanao. And that's why I like Mindanao. I don't care if it's rent, food, fuel, energy, it's cheaper. And if you can get past the fear and the fear mongering and everything like that, I would take a look at Mindanao because it's a huge place. And, a lot of the places aren't scary. Hell, you see Texas Azoy lives there. RLV, he said there are less vehicles in Metro Manila secondary roads due to high gas prices. That's about the only thing that's going to help the traffic situation, man, in Manila is high gas prices. But other than that, man, if you get stuck in the traffic here, you're going to swear off the Philippines. Hey, May Bitanga, I know her. And this young lady here, her and her husband, they're the ones introduced me. Well, found the apartment for Rick and Violet. She's a nice young lady, by the way, but she's married, guys. So hands off. The Beach of Life says even if fuel prices in the Philippines is a wash versus U.S., it's still better not to drive there. Yeah, see, I don't drive. Now, my girlfriend, we have her motorcycle, man, and she scares me every time I get on it. We're Tom and Jerry for real, especially when I get on the back of that motorcycle, man, because I'm going to tell you something. They drive like a bat out of hell over here, man. They're not going anywhere. It's like, where you going? What are you rushing off to, man? A job that's paying you, $2 a day, and they'll run you over. Okay. I'm going to, they need a whole bunch of supplies. Man, remember I told y'all the other day, my guest house, I don't think it's going to take, he said 5 or 6 weeks. It's not going to take that long. These guys are really working. And when you see this, I'm going to upload a video for, let's see, it'll be Friday morning here. You're going to see, man, it's coming along. Hey, Don Baracho, thanks for the super chat. He said, hey, Calvin, can I meet a Filipina that speaks Spanish? Well, if you go down to Zamboanga, which that's where I'm going to be next week. My son's birthday's today. He's 10 years old. I'm going to go down there maybe for a week or two, spend some time with him. They speak Chavacano there. It's a mix of Filipino and Spanish. They call that Zamboanga City Asians Latin City. And you'll see the people there, man, they think my wife is Spanish and Mexican when I took her to the United States. But I'll be there next week. Okay, Red John Roger Calvin, 72 pesos a liter is 550 a gallon. Yeah, but you got to realize they're not earning the type of money that we earn over in America. And by the way, guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is so crazy. America, we think we're the world leaders and everything. We're about the only industrialized and modernized society that's still on the Dewey Decimal System. So when you come to a place like the Philippines and everything is in metrics, you messed up, man. We're still on the Dewey Decimal System, and it's time that we raise the ball over there, man. They're really dumbing us down. Retired 2019 said, I'm not dating any women that does not live within 20 minutes. Gas prices are crazy. Well, I wouldn't. I'm glad you brought this up, though. But remember, guys, you don't want to lessen your odds any more than they are. The odds is in our favor. So even if I was flying into Cebu and the woman lived in, say, for instance, Manila, even further north, or even further south, and she's willing to travel, man, you got to do it, because I wrote down a few things. I'm not going to get to them yet because it's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Some tips, but travel is one of them. When I met Every single one of the women I've had here traveled a long way to see me, except my son's mother. She lived, well, she was from Naga City, Lanas, in those mountains, but she was working in Cebu. So she just really came to Mactan International Airport. That's TJ Johnson, man. He's here in Zamboanga City. San Carlos, by the way. He came last night, but I haven't seen him yet. We're going to hook up today. I got something for him. He said he wants to take a drink for John. And anybody that comes to San Carlos City and we hook up or whatever, and you drink, say, I don't drink. I got this for you, man. It's never been open. He's going to be the first one to sample this big thing. This comes from Okinawa, Japan, courtesy of Jeffrey and Danny. So, yeah, he's in town now. As a matter of fact, he's in the hotel room with two women. So I told you, it's great to be a man in the Philippines right now. Something else, they evacuated 199 Filipinos from Ukraine. They're out of harm's way. 63 were repatriated back here to the Philippines, and the rest went to other European countries. I guess they're going to wait it out to go back. You know, even when that conflict in Israel had ramped up a little bit, the Filipinos, they would rather stay there than come home, you know, because it's like, hey, I don't want to leave my job. Robert Dame says, hey, if I go to Sikihor, I'm going to wear garlic around my neck and throw salt over my shoulder. Man, you sound like the locals, man, but the only time you're going to see that crazy stuff is up in the mountains. And down on the ground, you don't have to worry about that. That's why a lot of the locals, majority of them, will not go to Sikihor, and I'm glad. It's just more open space for me, for real. Wow, Metro Manila prices between 66 and 75. Impending increase, wow, on Tuesday, around 6 pesos to as high as 12. I was just telling TJ about this too. Remember I told you I saw 70. No, it was 70 or 72. I can't remember which one. But anyway, right across the street is 65. But people are still going to the one for 72. They're just so used to going. They don't like change over here. So they're going to the one. I'm like, man, why don't you cross the street and save 5 to 7 pesos? But that's what happens, you know. In America, they find out quick. If Speedway has got $3 gas, then the people across the street, they're going to get that memo. Malcolm Nipson said, hey, you have 2 sons. I do. I've got one in Cebu, as you've seen, and then I've got one. The one in Zamboanga I raised. And we came here together in December of 2018. When me and his mother split, you know, she left us here, by the way. And I wasn't going to stay in Zamboanga. I wasn't. And, you know, she gave specific instructions for him to stay there, which he could be living a real good life here. You know, but this is the culture, man, you know. But I'm going to go see him because Zamboanga is real strict, but they're alert one, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Zamboanga. Let me put that in the comments. Zamboanga City. They speak Chavacano. It's like a mix of Filipino and Spanish. Yeah, he said, TJ John said, Texas is only not too much, man. Out here in San Carlos City, staring at mountains and stuff. Yeah, but it's beautiful, man. He got a taste of those Don Salvador Benedicto Mountains last night. I have to tip my hat to you, man. You a beast to ride through there at night. By the way, no way I would do it. The taxi, he couldn't pay me. And that's a fact. No, my son up in the mountains, Victor, he's not 10. He'll be turning 12. He's 11 going on 12. And one thing you're going to notice about people in the mountains, they look different. And he doesn't get the type of haircut and on the the timetable as if he were living with me. The minute I'd see the overgrowth, he'd be at the barbershop, but they cut their own hair up there. But yeah, he's 11. He'll be 12 in November. And it is. That's what I was telling y'all before, but because I'm not familiar with the Pacific Northwest, San Carlos City, it brings to mind a small town in the Midwest in America. Yeah, he says, I am creative. He said, yo, gas is more expensive in the Philippines than America. It is. And remember, we're not earning the type of money over here as y'all are in America. But a lot of other things are cheaper, though. I got some good news for anybody that likes diving, scuba diving and stuff. Malboal and Aslab, two of the top international diving places in all the Philippines, have reopened for tours. They had been open, but then the typhoon, they sustained a lot of damage from the typhoon, but they reopened. And this is where in Aslab and even Malboal, you can see those big whale sharks. You can swim alongside them, but I won't do it. I'm a chicken. I don't trust wild animals anyway. And then in Malboal, we went there. I took Marilyn and her two daughters September 2019. It's a beautiful place, man. It's another place where hardly any tourists, but there's dolphins, whales, sea turtles, all kind of exotic marine life there. They got a beautiful, the sand's not white, guys. They call it white sand beaches here, but if you want to see a white sand beach like my shirt, you've got to go to Destin, Florida, or Fort Walton Beach, Florida. That's where the beach, the sand is actually white. Yeah, he says no spam. Yeah, she might be on them, man. Yeah, the Crown Royal. I got it. He said, man, I would love to hang with you for a day, buddy. Stuck in New York working remotely. Yeah, come on, man. Once this guest house is complete, it's going to take my channel to a whole other level because this is y'all's channel. And when y'all start showing up like that, man, y'all going to be the star of the show over here. But I think I wish when I started coming over here, there was a place where I could come my first couple of days or something just to get my sea legs underneath me and just chill for a couple of days at no charge. Hey, it's Kandari TV. Thanks for that super chat. He said, morning, bro. Just checking in. We will have a small celebration for me becoming an author. Huge deal for me. See you soon in April. Yeah, I'm going to go to one of the followers of my vlog is getting married. And I don't know. Where's he getting married? Is that BGC? He lives in BGC. But yeah, I was shocked because he's one of the guys. He's really disciplined. He's a legend, by the way. He's the one I told you that lives in BGC. I won't break his anonymity, but yeah, I was shocked when he was getting married. He didn't go wild like me over here. Storm and Norman says, are you going to open up a sorry store? Absolutely not. It would be a sorry store. And anybody's even thinking about it, don't do it. Okay? There you go, Don. Baracho, Zamboanga City. But see, I'm going to Zamboanga, and I'm going to do a few more videos than I did before. I'm going to do Zamboanga Dangerous Myth Part 2. Because I did a Dangerous Myth. You know, I just want to show y'all. Whee! Look at Boo. She's sharp today. She looks like Snoop Dogg's. Yeah. Where'd she get that? Who bought that? Oh, a gift. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all that, like Texas Zoe said, if you go down there, you don't act a damn fool, nobody's going to bother you, really. Remember, I'm more afraid of Christians than I am Muslims, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't have any problems with Muslims. I got problems with Christians. They the ones give me a problem. And if you're afraid of Muslims, hell, they're not a race. They're Filipinos first. And they're warm and welcoming like everybody else. But yeah, TJ John said, yeah, bees, a hilariously uninformed fool. Definitely one of them. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, man, the daytime when you go through there, that's the only thing about it. You didn't see what you were really up against because those guys, they drive so crazy. They're just one mistake and you're toast. And you're going way down with no stop until you hit one of them trees and you're going to come to a stop. Orchid King says, Brother Cal, the gang has come. Thousands of tourists coming. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. But they're just slow rolling, really. But I think it was TJ because he flew out of here back in November or December. He says now the airports in Manila are popping again. But I told you that when I was in Cebu, man, it's like the old days again. But those two places are open. This is an interesting fact because, you know, people always get on me. I tell you guys all the time, this is an adult channel. Most of my viewers are 45 and up. I've got a 34 to 44, that's 35 to 44 that's growing. But we can talk about sex in a, you know, without getting cringy. But now this was a survey by Field Care, their 2021 Wellness Index study. 7 out of 10 Filipinos surveyed admitted that they had more sexual activities during the pandemic. And younger Filipinos under 30 led the study. 31 to 44 came in second. So that kind of gives you a clue of who to date over here. Certainly under 44, but certainly under 30. And remember I was telling you it's a baby boom? The Population Commission and Development, according to them, the country recorded the highest number of births in Philippines history in 2021, 750,000. Yeah, they're getting it on over here. My Road Trip Adventure says, hello, Calvin. Just recently, I watched an Amazon Prime about the insurgents in Mindanao. I didn't realize how much the Philippines army is active there fighting ISIS. Is it really that bad there? In certain areas, it is. But I have to tip my hat to the military, to the police, to the government. They keep it really out of your sight, certainly off the front pages. You may get a small article about a skirmish, but yeah, most of the time they're up in those mountains, in those far-reaching areas. They keep it away from you, but it's been going on for a long time. And you know, you got Americans over here helping fight ISIS too. Don't just put it on the Philippines. Yeah, we got. When I go down to Zamboanga, I always see Americans, servicemen. I mean, since 2010 when I first went there. Mikey Retro says, Calvin, are you having to leave the Philippines or are you staying? Eventually I am. I applied last month for what's called a motion for reconsideration because I got kids here. And what happens is it takes like 3 to 4 months for that to get approved. Then they give you 60 days to decide what you want to do. Do I want to apply for a permanent residence? Do I want to, maybe I'm married by then, reconcile with my wife or something. They give you 60 days. If not, I'll just fly out to Guam or something like that. Turn around and come right back. Maybe Thailand. That way I could say I at least been there. I stay there maybe a week or two and then come back and do a video where I can truly compare both of them. I did Smooth Sounds with ads on. He said, hey, Mr. Shoulders, did you get your name from the 70s song, Sunshine on My Shoulders Makes Me Happy? I absolutely did. That's a fact. Oh, yeah, they have Predator drones, and I've seen them all the time. When you're going from where my son lives, which is where I was living, to KCC Mall, it's by the airport, and you'll be in a tricycle, and they'll just come down. I mean, it's spooky, but, for somebody like me, I guess they see it all the time. I know what they are, and I'm like, wow. But I knew this a long time ago. I had a sneaky suspicion. I was like, especially when Obama was president, we're not going to get into politics because he was a drone man. And that's around the first time I saw one. I was like, I guarantee you they got drones here up in the mountains looking for ISIS. And I'll be damned, I'm going to KCC Mall. Here come one that comes down and lands on the runway like it was an everyday occurrence. Rob Guest said, well, I'm just saying, he says, can you still reconcile with your wife with your new lady in the house? What I was saying was that 60 days that they give you, that's the time frame they give you to, decide what you want to do. Or you could just leave the country and then come back, which is what I was doing. I just wanted to give you an example of what that motion for reconsideration does. Hey, Lynn, Cali Lynn 102, welcome. But no, that's not going to happen because the only chance that we really had for reconciliation was before she started, dealing with those men over there, man. And, it's just something that almost 2 years later, man, it still makes my stomach churn, man. It just pisses me off, really. No, I don't. See, I got to get rid of him. He said they got over 10 kids in America. Sorry. Yeah, once you lay down with somebody, I'm done. See, I'm a man, and men and women, we're equal, but we're not the same, okay? And I'm not some male chauvinist or anything like that. It's just, that's just how I am. Call me funny or whatever you want, but I don't care. I'm 58 now. I don't have to explain myself to anybody. No explanation needed. Once a woman that I'm dealing with sleeps with another man, I'll never go back there. So, he said, TJ, I said he had 2 women there. He said, I just want to set the expectation that this is casual. And even if it doesn't work, I'd like to be cool with it. Yeah, I like to be cool with you. Yeah. But see, women are different. And when I was growing up, and my father had 3 families, that's just how he was, all in a block area. But he was married to my mother, and she stayed with him because he was paying the bills. He was a good father up to that point. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't stupid. She's like, okay, if I get rid of him, because all they're getting is him physically. we really have everything else. But they don't think like that now. They want to own you, and even if that's their favorite word, cheating, as if that's the worst thing you could do. Would you rather have a cheater, or would you rather have a woman, a wife beater or something? Hey, Eric Terry, what's going on? Dave Jr. said, "What's up, Cal? Do you think things are going to to hell here in the USA? Hell, going to hell. It's been hell. That's why I left. But I love America, man. My lifestyle wouldn't allow me to stay there. If I went home right today, I'd have to go to work, man. I'm not lazy, but I've been working since I was between 10 and 11, selling candy door to door because I had to. My mother didn't have any extra money. When I was 12 years old, I bought my own school clothes, knocking on doors as a member of Junior Salesmen of America. I still remember the whole spiel already. And I never would take donations because some of those guys would take donations. I wouldn't. I wanted to sell. If you didn't want it, then I just say, okay. We went to the Colonel. Remember Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders? We went to his house. He lived right outside Louisville, Kentucky. And it was him and his wife. Of course, they had a black housekeeper. She answered the door. Well, here he comes. And, he got diabetes a long time ago, and I didn't know what diabetes was. But he bought 5 boxes from us anyhow. And see, I have respect for him after that. Paulie Brown says, hey, Calvin, is there a lot of Airbnbs there in St. Carlos? Not a lot. Now, the one that I always talk about, Joy's Place, she messaged me. She's going to reopen in mid-July. There's a few places, but not many, man. This is a little sleepy town. She's the one told me because I was thinking about it. She said, no, don't do it. There's not enough tourists that come here. Hey, Fred, what's going on? He said, hey, Calvin, I don't usually brag about going to expensive places, but I just left the gas station. Yeah. But, we've had, to be honest with you, if you're in America, we've had a long, long run of low gas prices. It's been expensive over in Europe in different places. We really had it good. And it's going to eventually hit you. But yeah, let me get to the subject a little bit and see if any of you guys have got any experience with this. I get a question all the time saying, Calvin, how do I know if the Filipino I'm chatting with is serious? Because number one, they will travel, man. They're going to travel. Maryland traveled 5.5 hours. My wife, she flew on a plane from Zamboanga to Cebu. I had another young lady, the one I told you was 18. I thought she was 22. She came all the way from Lewigan, that's like northern Mindanao, to Cebu. That's a sure sign, man. Nothing's guaranteed, though. You got to understand that. But that really is a good sign if she's going to travel. If she tells you, oh, no, when you get there, why don't you just come to my place? No, you got to throw her back, man. That's a red flag. That's just how it is, man. Because I did the video about should you meet her at the airport and not the advantages. See, there's some disadvantages, and I'm going to do a video on that just to give you the 360, but I want to do the advantages. There's some distinct advantages. The number one, like I told you, man, this is what you come here for. There's no more running around, no more waiting. You're here in the flesh, she's in the flesh. Your ship has come in. Your welcome to the Philippines moment has arrived. It's only a taxi ride away. See, that's the number one thing you want. Hey, Hollywood baby, my favorite farmer in Atlanta. He said, "What's up, big bro Calvin? Checking in with you. You looking like a brand new man. 3 years younger. Must be that good Philippines life. Live long and prosper, brother." Thank you. Well, hell, I need her to give me a shave today. I'm growing like I'm looking like Bozo again. He said gas went up $1 in my era. Rag John Rock said, my granny used to say a piece of man is better than no man at all. Women kept it real back then. Well, they did. Now, the modern woman, what's that guy's name? Kevin something. He's like he don't like modern women. He said that he took something like this and bent it on his head. He said the women nowadays, they want Frankenstein. They want to take pieces of, the best qualities of different men and put them all together to form their man. And I thought that was brilliant. He said that because it's true. The expectations, man, where I come from are off the chain. But, if you got a good man and you understand men, see, we're not really taught about each other over there. We're really on, we're really on the battle of the sexes is still over in America. They don't teach. I didn't learn anything. Everything I learned about women was just from watching my mother. No one ever really set me down and gave me any lessons or anything. It would have been nice about dating, about all of that stuff. My mother and father never talked to me about sex. W Secrets T Success Blog said, how big are electric bikes or cars in your area of the Philippines? Not very big because they're expensive, man. Now, when I was in Boracay, they had those e-trikes. All the tricycles on Boracay to transport people around were electric. But around the rest of the Philippines, it's not so big. AC King says, I get it, Cal. I've never gone back to an ex-girlfriend, not even when I offered a quick roll in the hay. It's something in my DNA, I guess. When I'm done with a woman, I'm done. Yeah, as long as once they've been in the bed with somebody, I'm done, man. No, And see, I'm trying to get to the point where I'm civil with her. It's hard because she don't want to. I own my responsibility, my part of it. But she don't want to own it. She wants to keep blaming me. So I'm still gonna be away from that, And I'm gonna feel real funny going to see my son, which is really why I'm mad at her. Meanwhile, my family, because her family is angry with me. Meanwhile, she's doing everything that she's grown enough to do in my hometown. My kids see it, my friends and family see it, but they don't, it's just American culture. It's like, okay, y'all split up, no big deal. But over here, it's different. There's some animosity there, man, and I don't like that. There's no reason for that. I just want to come to see my son. I raised him. He misses me. Come on, guys. Don't give that to Trump. We've been paying low prices for a long time, even when Bush was in president. Daniel Mills says, your Filipino will meet you at the airport. She's beginning to show you that, you're the prize in her mind. Yeah, if she's going to travel, they're going to give you signs that you're the prize anyway. It's just our low self-esteem. We get in our own way. We bring our thinking over here as far as women. You think like, this beautiful young lady, no way she's really interested in me. There's no way that, she thinks I'm Superman. But it's true. Mo, he said, it's what he said to me. And I hope you watch him, Mo, but he probably he's got a beautiful young woman, by the way. And he said to me, he was serious. He said, Calvin, she's supposed to be on I'm going to go there at 9:00 in the morning and I don't think she's going to be there. And I'm saying to myself, man, listen, you don't realize that if she's got any sense at all, she's going to be at that pier at 9 o'clock. I said, when she shows up, you know you got to keep her. And the very next day, man, she was there. He sent me a picture, man, beautiful. She's 21. Hell, he's 57. I told him, I said, look, you don't have to you don't have to apologize to me about it. She's grown. Hell, what's wrong with that? But yeah, he got him one. And I have to say, man, even the 70-year-old guy, he sent me some pictures with him and his girl. Well, no, not him. One of them was him and his girl. Then he sent me like they wasn't real, you know, they were sexy, but they wasn't. He said, I could show you more, but you're a married man. And I respect him for that. And, you know, these guys have done well for themselves over here, man. Efren Dunlap said, absolutely. He said, these women who travel to see you, did you pay their travel cost? Of course. They don't have nothing, man. Remember what I told you they're bringing to the table. Okay? Yeah, you got to pay. I mean, but it's a small price to pay, man. What I like about public transportation over here, it's reliable and it's affordable. I'm talking about flying, by the way. Hell, when I gave Marilyn her money to get here, I think it was like 200 pesos to get here. I think I gave her 500 pesos. Yeah, of course we did. But that's nothing. You're not going to spend a lot of money over here, man. Remember, everybody's in the agreement that we're going to have to pay for it anyway. Why not? It's going to be like everything else in the Philippines. It's going to cost less. You know, but she's going to feed you, bathe you, put you to bed. You're going to get all of that. That's just how it is. Malibu Ken said exactly. Our low self-esteem from being beaten down by the Americanized women over our entire lives. Yeah, and these old crazy expectations. And we've got some too, but not as crazy as theirs. 6 foot with a six-pack, earning 6 figures. Is usually what they want. Dave on tour says, hi, Calvin. I'm arriving in Cebu tomorrow for the first time and no internet dating, so I think it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, man. Go to the mall right now. Go to Ayala Mall, and it's going to get real interesting. And if you got balls enough just to say hello to somebody, is really all you have to do. And I'm going to be honest with you. We went the last day in Cebu. We went to the grocery store to buy some food to cook in the Airbnb. We didn't want to be for breakfast the next day because we knew we were going to be leaving early. And we were over by the freezer part. I see this lady. Yeah, I just said hello, man. She said hello. You know, I mean, really interested. And I don't know if she's seen my wife there. I mean, you know, Marilyn there or not, but. You know, if you just have the nerve just to, that's why I speak to everybody, because you don't know who's interested and who's not. But if you speak to everybody, you're going to get one of those hellos. I mean, you got to understand, man, a lot of these women are, they're lonely, man. The pandemic, I just read you some facts here. 7 out of 10 Filipinos admitted to having more sexual activities during the pandemic. Younger Filipinos, 30 and under, led the survey, then 31 to 44. It's a baby boom going on here. It already did in 2021. 750,000 babies born, the most in the history of the Philippines, imagine. So, yeah, they're ready if you just be, you know, take a bath, put on some clean clothes, get on a plane, come over to the Philippines, go to your hotel, take a bath, put on clean clothes, and come outside. Right now, especially. Hey, May, I don't want your husband to get mad at me. You keep saying hello. And She's like this, guys, by the way. But I can't fool with it. I know her husband, but I'm just letting you guys know. Curtis Eugene Thomas, he said, I'm 55 years old, Calvin. I have a 21-year-old who's going to be with me on Facebook Messenger. I will meet her next year when I come over there. Yeah, you better hope she's still available next year. State of Man said, you guys are lucky, Calvin. Out when I went there, there were no channels like this. Still no regrets leaving soon again. You fellas need to get out there. Yeah, thank you, State of Man. I just said the same thing. I wish when I came over here, there was somebody who would offer me a place to stay and give me some kind of counsel, man. We talk about the Filipino support group all the time. If you're a foreign man, I don't care where you're from, you come over here, you don't have any money, no job, no place to stay, they're going to make videos out of you. They're going to laugh at you. And you got to go to the embassy to get some help to go back home. One of them repatriation loans. Okay. But yeah, I don't really know the problem, though. And you ain't really explained it to me. Okay. We've got, if there's any German people on here from Germany, my girlfriend actually received a message from one of her friends. She's either married to a German or a live-in, and he hasn't gotten his pension in 2 months, right? Yeah. For 2 months deposited in his account. They wanted me to help, but I said, I don't know anything about Germany. I said, is he sure that his bank situation is straightened out? Because you got to tell your bank that you're over here. Maybe in Germany, after you're out of the country a certain amount of time, they, disqualify you for pension. Who knows? But if anybody out there that has any information, let me know about that. She says, I'm always at your fort, Sir Calvin. Yeah, that's not a fort. She's talking about this gate out here. That's funny, by the way. I'm always at your fort. That's crazy. Made to Trace he said, Calvin, get those likes up. Everyone like this video. Hey, thank you, Made to Trey. Yeah, 248 on here. I don't know what how many likes we got. Texas Azor said, my dart landed on General Santos and went from there. I like General Santos, believe it or not. Oh, yeah, good idea. Honey, come here. Tell them to contact the German embassy here. Huh? Tell them to contact the German embassy here, the consulate or the embassy. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But anyway, General Santos, man, see, I'm going to tell y'all something. People always ask me about, where's the women with the curves? They're all over, but more than likely, if you really want to see a voluptuous Filipino, you're probably going to have to go the further south you go. You got to realize my wife was 36 when I met her, and she didn't weigh 100 pounds. So imagine that in your mind. She's from Zamboanga. They're like that, man. Philippines, they're Asian, but they're not the typical Asian people, or not the women anyhow. They got booty. Okay. As Red John Rob said, they might show up with a bunch of kids. Now, they're not going to do that. Philippines are not going to, they're not stupid, man. Now, they might show up at the hotel the next day with their kids once they get you whipped. Roger says, hello, brother. Just dropping by. I want to ask what's the requirements coming back here in St. Carlos from Cebu. Vax card, but you also need an S pass. And I'll show you what that is. You just go on here and I've got a picture of mine, but just go on the Expats. It's real easy. And then you do that. That's all they're going to ask for. You need that before they'll let you buy uh, your ticket. You need to show them the S Pass and also the your Vax card. And Rajan, it's Morel Devage. I want to give y'all a shout out. Their channel's really growing. He came over to Booby's. He came up to our house for Booby's 1-year birthday, and I just sat him down and gave him some counsel. The little that I know, guys, I'm green, but I just told him. I said, "Look, man, because they had like 11,000 something subscribers at that time. I probably, I don't know, they had way more subscribers than me, but they wasn't getting any views." I said, "Because you got to change your content." I said, "You're Filipino. You living over in the Philippines. You got a leg up on me. You got a beautiful wife that works with you in your vlog. You got to talk about stuff that we want to talk about. You can't talk about that stuff that you've been talking about." And he took the advice, which was good for him. And they're blowing up, man. And, I just wanted to give a shout out to them. They were good neighbors, by the way. Oh, okay. State of Mind said that German guy probably had a review and missed the notice. I have one today. You're probably right, because I think according to her, he suffers from anxiety and he's kind of in bad shape. Yes, Curtis Eugene Thomas said, "Yes, Calvin. Where are the thick, curvy body, big chest, and butt ones over there? What city is that?" Usually in Mindanao, but really all over. You go to Cebu, man, you better wear, if you with a woman, you better wear some glasses. That's a fact. Okay? I'm just telling you. Yeah, they're doing a great job now. But, they can talk about so much that I can't talk about. And if there's any other suggestions I would give them, I would say, yeah, be a little bit more diverse. But hell, whatever works for them is easy for me to say. If it's working, keep doing it. If it ain't broke, don't break it. Another way that you can kind of a green light to see, and y'all might not believe me, that this is the Filipinas okay, that she's probably on the up and up. Because right now in the pandemic, man, the dating sites have really gotten shitty. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because people on there, they're starving over here. And they know that they can go on there and get some money. Normally, there's 10 times more of those on here now. Somebody I was talking to, who's over here now, he said he got on there. No, Eric Terry. He said, "Yeah, I'm coming out in May." He said, "I just got on the site." He said, "I had 150 notifications in one day." He said, "But most of them were begging and asking for money." And I said, "Well, what you want to do, stop, get off of there right now. Wait until about a week before you get here. And then, kind of sift through." But one thing you can do, look at the profile. If they say something like this, "Accept me," if I want a man who can accept me for who I am or what I am, right? If you see that, man, that's another sure sign, because these are women, they're taking their time. They're creating these profiles. They're not just, just putting pictures up there and "I want a man 18 to 80 blind crippled" or crazy. Read the profile, man, and they will tell you who they are. And a lot of times you can read a lot into these profiles, man. Stop just looking at the face. But if she says, "Accept me for who I am," 100% of the time, any woman that I've ever dealt with over here that had that in her profile was legitimate. And another thing, and you may not believe this, and this is just something that I do anyway, you can look into her eyes. See, I don't want any woman that's got these old what I want, filtered photographs. If you can't put a regular photograph up there, I'm gonna keep on scrolling. But if you can see it in their eyes, man. If they're sincere, if they're serious, man. You think I'm playing? I did. It's the only reason why. And if you don't believe me, ask Merle. That's the only reason why. I mean, because there's thousands of women on there. You gotta have something that you're looking for. And I looked into the eyes. I was like, yeah, she's serious. You know, she wants somebody for real. And I read the profile. See, and then another thing you can look for: education. The more education they have, the more likely they are going to be serious with you. You know, the more likely they're going to be legitimate. Now remember, none of this is guaranteed, guys, but this is some things you can look for. Will she travel? If I say, hey, you know, I'm in Cebu, you in Manila, I'll buy you a ticket. Yeah. Accept me as I am. She got that in the profile. You know, read her profile, man. Quit just looking at the face and the body. That's what we're doing. They'll tell you who they are in that profile. They got all this old glamorous stuff, all this over-the-top stuff in the profile. They real long. Keep going, man. You know, look in her eyes. Look in her face, man. Look in her eyes. You can see if they're serious. You don't want none of them filtered stuff because you're gonna get in trouble with those filters. You know, and then the education. Because one thing that, and I don't see simply Acus on her no more. I don't know why. If we said something that she didn't like, or maybe she's busy because she goes to school at night over there in Miami. But she said just because you video chat a woman doesn't mean she's your girlfriend. And that's true. You know, that's a ploy that can work two ways, really. One is the woman wants to hurry up and, you know, and get you, attach herself to you. But the other one is the scammers. They're quick to want to they're quick to want to lead you away from that site. You know, because those sites, a lot of times, they all have a video. You know, you can video chat me here. But if they quick to lead you off, oh, come on off camera. See, that's a red flag, man. Well, it could mean that too, but a majority of times, remember, guys, see, here's the thing that we do. We get locked up here. We get stuck up here. You don't have to marry a woman just because she got kids. You know, a lot of y'all only going to be here for 2 to 3 weeks. It's like my daughter. I was telling Mo the other day, you know, she's talking about, Daddy, I don't want a job at McDonald's, you know, because she's ashamed. I said, look, you stuck up here. You don't have to work at McDonald's the rest of your life. Just work there until you finish school or whatever it is you're trying to do. Don't get caught up here. And that's what we do. Oh, she got kids. Oh, she's separated. Then you're only gonna be here for 2 weeks. It's not like you're gonna be living here. If you're gonna be living here, then that's a different story. You know, don't get caught, don't get stuck up here, man. You're gonna pass up good women. You know, you're gonna be for 2 weeks. Big deal. And she might have a kid or two. Man, Philippines are so small. You probably want a woman that's got a kid or two. That's when they, you know, they're ready, if you know what I mean. Because I've had an experience over here with a virgin, man. I don't ever want another virgin. Nowhere in the world. I don't. Okay. I just don't want it. And I won't ever do it again. It's messy. It's just not it wasn't a good experience for me. Hey, thanks, Big Hams. Big Hams of 22 for the super chase. Said take this and give a few dollars to folks who need it, Brother Calvin. Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. Roger said, lovely people tell you we salute Calvin on what he's doing. He inspires and motivates us. Thanks a lot, brother. You're one of our inspirations. Hey, thank you, Raj. I appreciate it, man. I see big things in the works for y'all because y'all got the right recipe, man. If you can just the right ingredients, if you could just find the right recipe, there's no stopping you guys because you're not afraid to talk about stuff that I see a lot of Filipino bloggers they won't talk about. But I'm kind of pushing the envelope a little bit and kind of making them talk about it a little bit. But it's hard to go against your culture. You know, they're not going to do it. Hey, J Rock 2791 said, hey, Calvin, I really enjoyed watching your show here from Texas. Thank you for educating me and many other viewers about Filipinos and the beautiful culture. God bless you and the family. Fan from Texas. Thanks, J Rock. I appreciate it. We was having dinner with Mo the other night. I haven't heard from Mo. He's having a good time. But I just told him, man, that I shared my experience, strength, and hope with people over here. And my mistakes become my secrets. I just pass them on. Hopefully they'll help somebody to avoid a lot of the foolishness I put myself into. That's all it is, really. Hey, good morning. It's another one of my Filipina subscribers. James B says, why not? What are you talking about? Kente Dancy said, good day, Calvin. Waiting for my ship to come in. When she comes in, man, you're going to know it. Y'all heard that expression, waiting for my ship to come in. Somebody's waiting on their tax check, a settlement. But over here, you know, it's a legitimate woman. But if I'm just going to be here on vacation, man, I'm not looking for a wife. I mean, y'all bringing the unrealistic standards over here that you're running from. Don't get caught up here, man. You're going to miss out on some good women over here. He said, my 21-year-old girlfriend already was honest with me and told me she had a young baby as soon as I started talking to her on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. A lot of times you want a Filipina that's already had a baby. It's not, you know, it's simply a matter of physicality, really. It's still going to be better than anything over there. Let a woman have a baby over there, man. It's like a whale and a damn tic-tac. You know, it's like, hello. You know, I don't want that, man. You know, I'm sorry. Hey, Fred, he said, Calvin, you tell it like it is, and you're definitely my hero, educating the new folks coming to the Philippines for the first time. Man, that's a compliment coming from you, OG. Fred's the OG. But see, that's what, I'm glad you brought that up because on my video today, the guy said, oh, this video must be for the new guys. Absolutely. My channel is geared toward the new man and woman who's never been here before, who has an interest in coming here for vacation, slow vacation, or to rejuvenate, man. Hell. Hey, Spence Echoes. I hope that's Ecolis. Let me know how you spell that, how to pronounce that. Thanks for the super chat. He said good info. Iskandari TV says about 4 months. What are you talking about? Waiting for your ship to come in. Most of the time you're down the dock waiting. Yeah, in certain places, but not over here, man. When your ship comes in, Dana, it comes in. Hey, Jazz Lee Soriano. The Great Pretender said, hey, Calvin, is it common for some women to taboo to save themselves from marriage? Absolutely. Been talking to one for 2 years, and she said she's saving herself. Yeah, you know, this is a religious culture. But she's asking you, and you know, she has her standards. Everybody does. But she's asking you to make the biggest gamble that you could ever make. And unless you're a virgin, and unless you're saving yourself from marriage, I don't think I would place that bet because, you know, There's three reasons why people split up: money, and in no particular order, sex, and a third party. Third party doesn't always mean you're cheating on another relationship. It means letting people into your marriage, telling your business. But that sex is up there, man. And if you get into that and you're not satisfied, I don't want to hear that foolishness. We get taught so much foolishness in the world. As when you get old, you got to have the courage enough to throw it to the side. Marilyn told me that we were talking about money. She said, "Oh, money can't buy you happiness." I said, "That's bullshit. It can." I said, "The powers that be tell you that to keep you satisfied, keep you poor. Money can't buy happiness. You a damn lie." And it's more than sex and relationship. And if it starts out, if you love somebody, you will do this and do that. I'd shut my ears, man. You got to get to the point where you're able to think for yourself. And that if you love somebody, you'll wait until you get married. No, I'm sorry. It don't work like that. Billy says, "I will be a newbie to the Philippines. Very exciting journey ahead." It is, man. I could see the look on Mo's face. I keep bringing him up because he's an outstanding individual. He's going to have the time of his life over here. I don't know. I think he said he's going to be here a month. On the way back in the taxi, Marilyn said, that girl's going to fall in love with him. And I said, how you know? She said, because he's a good man. And she probably is, man. If he don't fall first, because men usually fall first. Dave says, on tour, says, "I'm coming over for a long term and looking for Puerto Princesa. Looks like a nice place." Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit more expensive, but yeah, it's a beautiful place, Palawan. Quran, I can't remember how they pronounce that. TJ, he just came back from El Nido. And one of my followers, he's a friend of mine now, Philip Cooper, he's in El Nido now with his family. Oh, okay, visas. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But remember, this doesn't mean anything. It just means that she loves herself and she has standards, and this is what she believes. And, you got to respect that. Either you're going to wait and marry her, or you say, okay, well, I don't, there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. But, it's like anything else with religious people. They'll scoot all that stuff aside to get what they want if it benefits them. Because if people would just live their religion, man, how much better would the world be? But they just talk it. They don't live it. The same slave master was so religious. He teaching his slaves to worship the same God he's worshiping. So he's on his knees praying to God. "Oh, keep me. Thank you for your blessings and your favor." And meanwhile, he wants the slave to bow down and pray to the same God. What's he being thankful for? It's just so hypocritical. But yeah, if that's what she wants, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't knock her for that. But, hopefully she'll find a man that understands that. But she's asking you, in a real world, she's asking you to place the biggest bet of them all. Because most of the people, the only country that has a higher percentage of people who say that they believe in God than America is the Philippines. America's second. Okay? So, yeah, imagine if everybody, just lived their their religion instead of talking. Because, we were talking about Mindanao the other day, me and Mo, and, I was telling him, he said, yeah, you liked it down in Zamboanga. I was like, yeah. I said, Muslims aren't, it's not a race, it's a religion. I said, they're Filipinos first. They're kind and, they're welcoming and hospitable too. Just like the Christian Filipinos. I said, but I've never had a problem with Muslims. Every problem I've ever had, my whole 58 years, almost 59 years, have been with Christians, not Muslims. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Muslims. I have a problem with Christians. Dr. Delane says nothing wrong with women who have kids. Just know what you are getting into. Most will always put the kids ahead of you. If you can deal with that, go for it. Some guys need to be the top priority. Yeah. And you're right about that, especially over here. And I always remind, but see, remember, I'm responsible for my own happiness. And it doesn't bother me because I always tell Marilyn, I said, it's a good thing that I'm not with that, I have to be the top priority stuff, because if it was, we'd have a problem. But I don't care about that kind of stuff. But most of us come over here and say, we don't want a woman with kids, but we've got 3 or 4 children at home or 2 at home. See, that's a double standard. And when you see some of these women over here that got children, you're going to change your mind. I promise you that. Kente Dynasty says, I'm too old for someone saving it. With a young dude, that's cool. But not even with that. Like, what do you mean saving it to marriage? So how long do we have to, are you going to save it? When are we going to get married? Tonight? Yeah, that's when I will be. Hey, JL Dawn, he says, I'm going to need you to stand in as best man, big brother. What, over here? Come on, man, I'll do it. But I'll be witness to a killing. No, I'm joking, man. I'll do it. I'm not thanking anyone for serving me, and I'm supposed to enjoy it. Okay, Rudy. Yeah, he take that back. Yeah, it just depends on who you are. There's nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't put that down. Yeah, I don't know about this though, guys. I would talk to a lawyer. When you start getting into this technical stuff like this, I mean, but why would you want to do the online marriage anyway? I'm saying, are you that desperate that you can't even? You got to come over here to see the woman anyway. Just get on the plane and come over here. Why you got to get married before? The Philippines is open. That little, what they call it when you find that little glitch in the system, you don't even need it anymore. You'd be a damn fool to get married online. I mean, you're a damn fool to get married anyway anymore. But shit, to get married online, I saw where some guy, I don't know if this stuff is real or not, because YouTube, a lot of it's fantasy, guys. Y'all got to realize that. This guy supposedly met his online marriage for the first time. The thumbnails got him on his knees, and she's sitting there looking like a moose. And I'm like, this is scripted. No way he married that online. If he did, he's blind. He's one of them 18 to 80 blind. He might be crippled and crazy. If to marry that online, I'm like, the hell with that. Oh, okay. Iskandari says it's not true because you have to do an NBA clearance before you can apply for 13A. So your information is wrong, bro. And see, you did it. He's applying for the 13A right now. He's been married for a long time. He said, some folks are just like that. What are you talking about? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, Dana. Everybody has their standards. Everybody has their beliefs. And she'll eventually find somebody uh, that, believes the way she believes. Because that's what it's all about, right? Compatibility. She'll find somebody like that. Oh, yeah. Charles, he said, Calvin, I want to tip my hat to the Filipino construction workers and labor workers. They are very skilled men. They are. And I said that when they were building my house, when they're building this wall, and now when they're building this guest house with very little tools, by the way, no modern tools. There's no backhoes. There's no, what's them little bitty bulldozers that they have over in America, Now he was blind in that scenario to marry that lady. Isaiah Allen said, hey, Calvin, you mentioned earlier that Filipinos that live in the mountain regions look slightly different than other Filipinos. Does that also apply to Filipinos in other regions? Yeah, because there is no one Philippines. It became one Philippines under the flag during the Spanish occupation. Before that, all these islands had their own religion, culture, everything, languages, traditions. Yeah, they look different. There is no, okay, you go to America, right? You see how diverse it is. And people don't believe me when I tell them. It's just as diverse over here. Don't you know, man, one of the tricycle drivers that gave me a ride home the other day, he's darker than me. I mean, he's black. And I asked him, I said, man, is your father African or Black American? He said, no, I'm Filipino. He said, 100%. You're never going to see, there is no, okay, let's take Roger and Esmeralda. They're married, and you see Roger, you see her, right? And she's not, with all that old glutathione drips and stuff like that, she's that color. And he's a different color, Yeah, well, Dana Middleton, that's a man. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody does that anymore. It's not real. But we take a lot more risk, but just we don't want to take that one. We don't want to take that one because it's so important. Sex is natural. It's like breathing. So if you want to marry somebody and hold your breath until you get married, then do that. I mean, but that's about what she's saying. Texas Zoe said like that, like they will take that much risk and actually marry someone they never seen before, and way too risky for me, but works for some people. Yeah, a lot of them guys was doing that, trying to get around the Philippines being closed, but now you don't have to do it. But a lot of these 2-week marriages work for whatever reason. Some people make it work because they want to prove you wrong. So they'll stay in a damn 20-year marriage, unhappy as hell, just to prove to you that you were wrong. Hey, Xavier Baker says, what's up, Uncle Cal? He said, how you doing? I'll be leaving from Honolulu to Cebu April 17th. Was wondering if I can shoot you email. We'd love to link up since I'll be there. Oh, yeah. I'll put my email here real quick again. Yeah, at least you want to say, am I compatible? Do we have anything because in common, I mean, besides the fact I want to go to bed with you, that's the reason I'm marrying you. But a lot of religious people do that. They want to have sex, but they say, oh, I want to do it when we get married. So they'll hurry up and get married. my American wife used to study with the Jehovah's Witnesses. She never joined. And a lot of them would do that, because they really strict against that. They'll excommunicate you and everything. So they would just get married, whether they're compatible or not, just to have sex. There's my email. Happy Thoughts says, I've seen your page for a while. Please seek the kingdom of heaven and cry out to the Heavenly Father and turn from your sins. Judgment is coming on the earth, and chasing that lifestyle will cost you. I don't even know what Jesus is waiting for, man. I've been struggling and crying out my whole damn life. But, that's a whole other story. But, guys, we're not going to get in this argument. If they want to wait, let them wait. But did you wait, Dennis? There's nothing wrong with that. But did you wait? And if you did, then why are you on a site, a Filipino site? 95% men. We're talking about coming over here for women. And 95% of them are not going to make you wait. Okay. Hey, Michael Miller. That's all I'm saying, guys. Rob Guest said, can you discipline a stepchild in Philippines? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even discipline really a stepchild. I raised a stepchild in America. I was a stepchild. And, it's just a hard, man, that's a thin line to walk, man, But not really. I mean, I'm not going to let them stick a fork in the damn socket. But that's, until they're ready to get run over by a car, then that's when I step in. And other than that, I don't say a whole lot, man. But, I've been fortunate in that her children they're just excellent children. I'm telling you, man. Her 16-year-old, she don't even go outside. She just studies all day. I find that kind of strange, but that's what she does. I wouldn't buy a car without a test drive, and sure wouldn't marry a woman without a test tune-up. Yeah, I mean, but you got these guys. See, that's a lot of these people are extremists. And then the little one, 8 years old, she calls me daddy. But she calls me daddy as if it's my name. I like it, though. It's just strange to me. Iskandari said, yeah, you can discipline. Remember, you're in the driver's seat. You can, but, I don't know. Malibu Ken said, getting married in the Philippines is not recognized in the U.S., right? Well, actually, it is if you, especially if you going to bring her over. I wouldn't really know that kind of stuff because that'd be something you have to talk to immigration about, or somebody who got married over here. I got married in America because I didn't know what was going on over here. And really, the number one reason I got married in America was because she could get over there sooner. And if it didn't work out, which it hasn't, after 8.5 years, then we could just split, and it's no big deal. See, if you get married over here, and, I go through all the rigmarole and everything, register the marriage and all that, then she has to get an annulment over here as if she was married to another Filipino. And when I found that out, I didn't want to, not that I didn't think the marriage was going to work, I just didn't want to hinder her that way. Yeah, you're right. Compatibility will carry you through the situations that inevitably happen. It provides commonality beyond just the sex. Yeah. So how do you know, so you better be damn, y'all better have a hell of a lot in common. What's up, Daryl? And see, that's what's going on a lot of times when we marry over here. We marry Filipinas. We're taking a risk because the cultural differences, but sex is strong enough that it'll hold it together until all that other stuff falls in place. I mean, I don't know why people don't think sex is important. We can't talk about it over there without everybody don't bring that up and all of that. That especially the religious people. Now here it is. Their creator put that. That's innate in man. If it wasn't, we'd be in trouble. To be hunters, to want sex, to be hungry like that, and then I'm supposed to refrain from it. I'm supposed to, I'm not supposed to go out and rape women, obviously, but a consensual relationship, and then of all the things going on in the world, you're gonna send me and burn forever and ever in a lake of fire because me and Jane down the street practiced consensual sex, but we wasn't married. I can't get with that. I'm old enough to know that's foolishness. And if God is that petty, then hell, I ain't got a shot anyway. But if Ted Bundy, they said he on his way to the electric chair, they said he asked for forgiveness. So after all that he did, he's gonna be forgiven for all the women he killed, by the way, raped, mutilated, and everything. Because I have sex with Jane down the street and we're not married, I'm gonna burn forever. Yeah. Hey, Quinn, thank you. But I'm not, I don't, trust me, guys, I'm not bashing religious people. I'm just saying, when people get on my channel like this and they want to try to rise above everybody else, then, you got to bring them down to earth. Like, man, I don't care that you Christian or Muslim or whatever you are. Live it. Quit talking it. Brian Treshman says, hey, Calvin, what do you think about the money exchange at Manila Airport? Good idea. I would do some, Brian. I always suggest this because you're going to need it. Either do it before you get here if your bank offers that, or do some. Because when you get out to the taxi, he doesn't take money. When you get to the hotel or you go to the restaurants, they don't take dollars. You got to give them pesos. So at least do, you can do, I would do at least $200, so that way, okay, we'll go to the Zoom. It's going to cost you less than Zoom because there's no transaction fee. They'll just get you with the exchange rate, which is going to be higher than Zoom's. They don't beat you over the head like that. Here, okay, I was in the store the other day. Remember the exchange rate was 52.31. Well, at Save More, they were giving you 51.9. So that's 0.4 per dollar instead of 2.31 for every dollar with Zoom. He said you made Jane. Yeah, that's right, TJ. That's what I came up with the other day. That's why I had to back up. I'm like, if you want to get that exchange rate, the prime exchange rate, you have to go to the ATM machine. And it's going to be cheaper now. The reason I tell people not to use the ATM a lot here is because it's a lot of skimming going on. You got to be real careful. And we'll get into the habit. We'll see an ATM and we'll go and use it. Especially over here, you're not really thinking. And they skim you. Yeah, you'll get your money back in 2 weeks or whatever, but hell, you need it over here. See? And that's a fact. John Gomez said, I heard you can order currency here before traveling. That's what I heard. But I've never done it before. I always do 100, 200. I have something. Sometimes I've done more. This last time when me and my son and my wife came here, I did 1,000, man. So what? I lost $7 or something like that. Because a lot of times when you get here, sometimes it's late at night, sometimes it's early in the morning. The banks are closed, man. There's no bank hours. The bank hours over here are not 9 to 5. They're not open on Saturday. They're open on Sunday. My bank, anyway. I'm at a major bank, PNB over here, Philippine National Bank. They're not open on Saturday. They're open on Sunday. They close, believe it or not, at 2:00. Yeah, Christopher, you're funny, man. He said, I think your super chat is disabled. I was just getting ready to send you 1,000. Man, you're like Marilyn. She said something today. I said, what, you trying to be a comedian now? But I remember, Christopher, I got to give you your props, though. One time early in my, when I started up, you and I think it might have been Joan Gomez, and I think it was another guy. Let me see. No, it was you and my one of my subscribers, man. Y'all went at it, and man, y'all went crazy, man, that day. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, these guys, y'all egos was going at it. I think his name was Sidney. But anyway, he says, you can't outgive me. He says, and you said something, and y'all got to going crazy. Anyway, where's Michael? Thanks for the super chat. He says, hey, Calvin, what's up, brother? If a man's about his business, Alpha, he know what he's about and the value he brings to the table. He won't concern himself with being thrown back as a beta. Yeah, I believe that. You're not going to be concerned about a whole lot, Michael, it's just like the girl who wants to save herself. If you love yourself enough and you know what your value is, you don't care what nobody says about you. Whether they call you a beta or not. Everybody's an alpha. Nobody's going to admit to being a beta, even though psychologists now say there's no such thing, that we all exhibit all of those traits at one time or another throughout the day, but no one's going to admit they're a beta anyway. If you ask the guy right now, hey, if you're an alpha, put 1. If you're a beta, put 2. You'll see everybody's going to be 1. He says, whereas Michael says, a good fisherman owns the rod, reel, and boat. The fisherman won't give away his value. He's the one who decides what to throw back and what to keep when his ship sails into the harbor. That's right. And I tell my kids all the time anyway, this is on a different subject, but I say, you got to cast your line in order to catch something. You got to try. You got to take a chance. The biggest risk is when you don't take any risk. That's why I'm into the self-help genre, and I've been in since about 2000. The fear of failure stops us in our tracks, man. The fact that, rejection, I might fail. Well, if you don't try, then you're sure to fail. I live by this, and I got this from W. Clement Stone. He says, if there's nothing to lose from trying and everything to gain if successful, by all means try. And there's something else that I used to ride around with this on my glove compartment. Do it now. Because we procrastinate all the time. So that's how it is when you come over here. It's like, what do you got to lose if the woman says, that's why we won't even try, because we're afraid we're going to fail. So you see a beautiful woman, so what if you fail? If she says, I'm not interested, or she just keeps walking or something. But I guarantee you, if you are polite and you're gentlemanly, and you do that 10 times to a beautiful woman over here, 1, 2, 3 of them are going to be interested. All you want is 1. But if you want the easy way out, like most of us do, you're going to end up with a 3 or 4 and spend all your time in the hotel because you're going to be ashamed to walk around with her. She's going to want to take you places, and all you want to do is go to the swimming pool because you don't really have what you want. Hey, Rich Scales, hey, Calvin, I'm so glad the Philippines is open. Me and my wife will be there in August. Hopefully we can come visit you there. Be blessed, brother. Oh, come on, man. Y'all can If you're in San Carlos City, man, you and your wife can access the guest house. I should have put that stipulation on there. No single guys. That could keep y'all honest, Make sure you got your girlfriend with you. TJ Johnson said, thanks for the super chat. He said, do you still see Roger and Esmeralda frequently now that you're out of the neighborhood? I'm really just right around the corner from them. I saw them. They made a video right in the beginning of my subdivision. They live in Margarita Village. I live in Margarita Village Extension. Right across, TJ. So, yeah, he says, I might have gotten too many pasalubong for you unless the fam has a big sweet tooth. Yeah, we could go over there. I'd like for you to meet them in person anyway, because they're good people. Hey, John Wolfhanger, thanks for the super sticker. Yeah, I'll take you over there. If they're home, man, they've been going a lot of places here lately. He said, kid is grown, wife is gone, cash is on. What's this 1.5? Good to know. Oh, okay. Smoky Mountain says, getting ready for the trip over at Durham Fulmore second week in June. Anytime's a good time, but right now especially, man, it's a great time to be here. And TJ will tell you, he said he was in El Nido. It really wasn't that crowded. I was in Boracay. Philip Jones said, just bring 10,000 US with you. When it runs out, fly to Guam and get 10,000 more. Getting it 100 or 200 at a time, the fees are more than a flight to Guam. He's saying when he first gets here at the airport, Philip. But yeah, see, if you want to save money, what you have to do is send it all at once. Don't, when I used to be out there, getting high and stuff, I'd go to the dope man, I got $1,000. Instead of giving him the whole 1,000 and saying, here, give me $1,000 worth, I said, I just want a 20. And then at the end of the night, I done spent the 1,000 and I got only a fraction of what I could have got for the whole 1,000 if I'd have bought it first. And that's what we'll do if you nickel and diming with these ATMs and Zooms. The fees will eat you alive. If you need 2,000, get it all at once. Pay that fee one time and get it over with. But if not, they'll kill you over here, man. If I could just have the money back I paid in fees over here in the Philippines, I'd be set, man. Because they're gonna get you. People always ask me, well, what's the best way? It really is no best way. And then they say, oh, well, Charles Schwab. Well, I'd say, well, if you live here, after 6 months, they say they counsel you there. From what I heard. Oh, yeah, the Haitian gunman. Yeah, it was you two. But then I know you two went at it before. But then Christopher Wolfgang and this one of my friends, his wife is the one I'm naming the guest house after. His name is Sidney. I won't say his last name, but yeah, he's a multimillionaire. He's remember I told you that Reginald, what's Reginald? I should be slapped in the head. I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, the guy that was married to the Filipino who died in 1993, they were business partners before. That's the type of people he hung with. Yeah, it's all talk till you put into action. Yeah, he says, the great pretender says, my confidence is completely different in other countries. It's like I'm a different person. You are, because the rules are different. And a lot of times, like on the video that I made, Philippines turns losers into winners and winners into legends. A lot of times you go to these countries, the rules benefit you a whole lot more than in your own country. And since you didn't make the rules, you don't have anything to be ashamed about. Oh, yeah, you're going to live good anywhere in the Philippines over here. Because $3,808 US dollars a month over here, you're considered rich. The Philippine Statistic Authority says that, not me. People got on that video and they said, hey, I can live comfortably in Texas, Oklahoma, wherever. And I said, we're not talking about living comfortably. We're talking about being rich. $3,800 a month in the United States is nowhere near rich. But over here it is. I'm not going to lie. You're welcome, John. He says, thank you for your information. Retired Army. Moved to the PI in June. Thoughts on Lapu Lapu? I like Lapu Lapu, especially if you're going to have a motorcycle of your own. Because at night, if you're over here in the mall and you stay into it, closes at 9, you're going to have a hell of a time getting back over there. I did anyway. A lot of these taxis, they don't want to go back over that to Lapu Lapu and Mactan because it's hard for them to get a ride back. It's like it's a dead end. You're dead ending them. When you take them over, they got to come all the way back, and they're not going to earn any money. But yeah, Lapu Lapu is really nice. There's a lot of nice resorts over there. Because it's a separate island from Cebu, you're across the bridge. But it's congested. It's congested, man. It's so many people per square mile over there. I mean, it's congested. That's a fact. But other than that, you're right across the bridge from Cebu. And Cebu Island, if I were new, that's where I'd be, somewhere on Cebu, because you can travel to so many tourist destinations without ever leaving Cebu. I mean, really nice places that are on par with, as far as beauty, with Boracay and all of those places, except they don't have the tourist numbers. Caveman C says, Cal, if I say I'm a priest, will you send me your last dollar? I will give you a blessing. Well, see, I grew up, my father was a preacher, and that's probably why my thinking is so conflicted with that. I see him doing things and Monday through Saturday, then on Sunday, and he would always say, do as I say, not as I do, and you know what they do. But, to each his own, man. I don't knock people who practice religion, who use drugs. I don't judge, man. I'm 58. The life goes by so fast, man. I don't worry about what other people do. I'm trying to live my own life. Robert Kelman says, no venture, no gain. You can't go nowhere. You don't see nothing. Philippines, here I come. Thanks, Brother Calvin, and God bless you. Hey, I appreciate it, Robert. You're right, man. If there's nothing to lose from trying and everything to gain successful, by all means, try. Don't be afraid to fail. This is the reason why people are mediocre, are below. Meanwhile, the people taking all the chances, they're the ones who eventually make it. The successful guys, we never look behind the scenes at their failures. All we see is their successes. It just means that they failed a lot of times. Hey, the Great Pretender, thanks for the super chat. So can you talk a little bit about your origin story and how you decided to move to the Philippines? Thank you. Yeah, just in a roundabout way, man. I've been coming to the Philippines since 2009. Okay, and I fell in love with the place, okay? But, of course, I wasn't old enough to retire. I didn't have a residual income or anything like that. And things just, as an insurance agent, man, things just got real hectic for me. I mean, that rat race, the hamster wheel, I just got tired of it. Just seems like I wasn't going anywhere, the Great Pretender. I was working twice as much just to maintain. And, I put so much pressure on myself. And I knew in the back of my mind, I know where I can go. I can go to the Philippines. I knew how much money I needed, and that's what I did. I put together a 4-year plan. It really didn't take me 4 years. I was sleepwalking through the last year and a half, but I knew what I had to do to get over here, man. I was just tired of that lifestyle over there. I couldn't earn enough money. And that's really all I was doing, was working to pay my bills. And just going, I get to the point where I was an insurance agent. I got to go where the money is. I'd be laying in bed, man, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that at 10 o'clock, I got an appointment 80 miles away. See, that kind of stuff got to wearing on me. And I said, man, I want something different. I knew when my mother died, I knew that death was inevitable. And I said, I just want something different, man, and I didn't have to have the big car anymore. And life was I wanted a simple life, and I knew I could get it over here to put, and nobody judges me over here. John Roman says, no man ever said on his deathbed, I wish I took fewer risks. Yeah. And it's really all it is. But a lot of people say the opposite. They say, man, I wish I'd have did this. I wish I'd have did that. I mean, because you see so many other people doing it, that should give you the motivation to at least try it. They say, hey, let me see. I ain't got nothing to lose over here. Shelby Eddington says, thanks, Calvin. I'm coming on my $16.49 a month. Yeah, SSDI. That's enough over here. As long as you're responsible. Make sure, you get with one of these agents over here that can sell you some life insurance that may cost you $500 a year. No, less than that, depending on your health. The money that you're going to save that. Because you get an automatic, you get free money over here, man. People argue with me all the time. I said, it's free. What else do you call it? You're not doing anything for it, but moving over here, if your rent goes from, like mine, $900 to $170, that's $730 free dollars. If my monthly bills went from $3,000 to less than $1,000 over here, that's $2,000 worth of free money every month. I need to be saving that $2,000 a month or whatever it is. That's the number one reason I'm still over here, man. I'm tired of working physically. I want to work with my mind. Napoleon Hill said a man is worth about $2 a day who works from the neck down. When you work from your neck up, your earnings is unlimited, man. There's no limit they can put on you. But they just want me to work physically over there. And it just wore me down, man. I'm 58. I don't want to work like that anymore. I want to write a book. I do something like that to earn my living. I don't want to physically work over there. Living a God-filled life. Said, hey, Calvin, have you ever been filled with the Holy Spirit? Have you experienced speaking in tongues? I want to meet you and preach the word of God to you, and you experience the Holy Ghost. Well, probably when I was smoking crack, I would say that I probably was speaking tongues and all kind of stuff. But, there's no converting me. I believe in something, but I just don't believe that story. I'm not some, man running around with no principles, raping, robbing, pillaging people. But you don't have to be religious to have morals and values. That's just what I come to believe now. But yeah, there's no converting me. But yeah, I have spoken in tongue when, you hit that crack pipe and then you run out of money. You be talking in tongue and all kind of stuff to try to get another piece. Hey, Paul, Thorne. Is that Thorne Jr.? He said, rest in peace, John Moonshine Shoulders. Yeah, TJ gonna have a drink. Anybody comes here, as long as that Crown Royal's still here, you're gonna have a drink in John's honor. Smoky Mountain Model says, I'm headed to Davao and I hope to spend the rest of my life there at Durham Fulmore. I rented the house across the street from Texas to Zoe. Wow. Well, there's a lot of expats in Davao for good reason. The legend I told you about, his name is Kurt Van Tressel. He lives down there when he lives in the Philippines. I think they live, it used to be 6 and 6 in Colorado. It may even be 8 and 4 because he really doesn't eat the food over here. He loses a lot of weight when he's over here. He told me. Believe it or not. You guys thinking I'm joking, man. I'm serious, man. Yeah. Stop trying to convert people, man. No, I'm serious, man. I did speak in tongues. Your money started getting low. And you know how they crack, you can't hardly talk. Hey, where can I get $1? You know, they think you talking in tongues. He says, I grew up religious. No more. It's about the spiritual. Yeah. Now I believe in the spirit. I believe in the man inside that knows everything. You know, I heard a guy talk about, you know, we got a brain, but then we have a mind. And, you know, there's somebody driving that machine up here. That's how you can hear a voice, you know, when you're talking to yourself. You can hear, how can you do that if it wasn't spiritual? When you can actually hear yourself talking when you're not even saying anything. I mean, you think in words, right? You know, if you're just sitting there, you're thinking. See, I can hear myself thinking right now. But at the same time, you're like, am I just going to be, well, I know my body's going to be nothing but, you know, dirt. And, you know, maggots are going to eat me up. The groundhogs, they're going to have a field day with me. But I do think that there's a spirit. Dana said, he said, hit your thumb with a hammer sometime. It's that time. Says, where's the most comfortable, clean, blue water beaches and locations to get fresh fruits and vegetables? Oh, man, so many places. I couldn't begin to tell you. I know Sicky Horse got that blue water. The minute you get off the pier, you walking down the pier before you even get to the island, you can see that blue-green water there. And, you know, the Philippines at one time was 70% tropical forest. I mean, if you love fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, then you're in the right place. Papa Kiko, what's going on? He said, he said, if you lose weight in the Philippines, you are the problem. Yeah, he won't eat over here, man. And he's the type of guy, man, he was like John. He would not bite his tongue. I don't care where we were, he'd say something like, man, I wouldn't eat nothing out of that market. Did you see all these damn flies over here? You know, and the people was just standing right there by him. And I used to be like, come on, Kurt, man. It would be so funny, man. But, you know, I have to respect people more than that. And he was like John with that. They didn't care who was listening. They did not bite their tongue. We were in McDonald's one time, and John, he said they went down to Janessa's village to a funeral. And she was trying to get him to, you know, to know the guy, to recognize the person in the casket. And John said to me, you know how close the tables are in McDonald's? He said, shit, they still all look the same to me over here, Calvin. And I was like, wow, John. I mean, I shrunk about this small. I wish I could have walked underneath the door, out the door. But, you know, it's just how John was, man. That's why people love John. Righteous Power says, easy to lose weight in the Philippines, so hot here, and our food is small portion. Oh, yeah, compared to American standards. A small drink over here is literally a small drink. You see how this is a small drink. This is how tall the cup is. And it's not like, you know, if you go to McDonald's here, they fill up the cup for you and, you know, and give it to you, right? Not at home where, you know, they'll give you the cup, tell you to go fill it up while they're filling your order. Not here. A small is really a small. And a large is not even a small in America. So yeah, the portions are small, except for rice. Yes. Yeah, Jerry Jones. He said, Calvin, I'm a diabetic, but I'll be able to purchase my medication in the Philippines if I decide to live there. Yes, but that's something you want to check on to make sure. But yeah, there's plenty of diabetics here. Now, they push a lot of generic drugs here. I don't know. You know, there's so many. When I was working in the Medicare field, and I'd have to go on my clients and look at their medications, sometimes the people I'd be helping, they'd be taking 2 and 3 different diabetic. You know, they might be taking metformin and the pills, then, you know, injecting one and then injecting the other before they eat. It's crazy, man. Yeah, it's a mouthwash cup. We're certainly that. If you look at a large over there, it's like a 44-ounce drink. When I left in 2018, the large drink in America was 44 ounces, man. Come on. Who needs to drink that much? I mean, there was so many French fries, you can't eat them all. He says, what do ferries cost? It depends on how far you're going. Okay. We rode on the fast craft yesterday from Toledo, Cebu to San Carlos City. It's an hour. And we rode in the air conditioned part because it was full. It was fully booked. It was 263 pesos. That's about $5. Wow. He said now it's 84 ounces. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Yeah, Shelby Eddington said some of their islands are connected by bridges, and you can also ride a ship with your scooter, so no problem. Yeah. The one I had, the Fast Cat, or the light ferry, either one, you could take your car, truck, motorcycle, bicycle with you. Said, what about the bucket of fries at Jollibee? I never saw that. But I think that's like a meal, you know, it's something extra. That's not, trust me, when you buy like a Y2, which is like a yummy burger, well, a yum burger with cheese, you get, you know, the small drink. They'll either give you pineapple juice, iced tea, or Coke. And then you get the little fry, man. I promise you this. And if you think I'm lying, you get over here. It's about 18 fries in there. It's small, man. But I don't know. People ask me this all the time. I've never been to Thailand. When I had now TJ can answer this because he's been, and he's a big, you know, he's like I call him a 5-star general because that's all he deals with like 5-star. He flew over here first class to the Philippines this time. See, I call him a 5-star generator, not a 5-star general. But he could tell you. He's big on the infrastructure and all of that. Oh, yeah. Balumban. Yeah, Dana. That's where her auntie lives. When we got to Toledo yesterday, she said, yeah, Calvin, if you turn right here, you go to Balumban. Yeah, it's about $5. And it'll probably cost you less to go from Balumban to Toledo to catch the ferry. Well, it's not automatic. You got to apply for it, Shelby. 13A. Yeah, you would get a permanent resident visa, 13A. But something you have to apply for. He said for Americans to be a side dish. But yeah, guys, I got to get out for today. I appreciate all the super chats, the super stickers, thumbs up, all your support, because they gave me a list of supplies I've got to go get today. Y'all can't see that. 30 sacks of cement. Because they just about, if I look out here, got the hollow blocks up in the frame. You'll see that. I'm going to upload it tomorrow. That'll be my next video. Get the thumbs up, guys. Let's get at least 200 before I get off of here. But yeah, I got to go to the bank and get, I guess it's probably about 10,000. Maybe, because most of this is like PVC. So I don't know. Maybe this is for the bathroom. All this PVC. But yeah, and remember I told you the banks close at 2. And I don't want to be rushing, man. Because they will close at 2. It's that time. It says it's easy to buy cooked vegetables, no meat, as you travel around to and from place to place. Yeah, it is. You know, remember now you're going to be, that would be considered street food. But a lot of times, you know, you're going to be okay. But, you know, you're taking a risk. What you could do is just prepare it. Go to the market, buy it fresh, cook it yourself. Carry you around a little bag, you know, and pack it the right way. Isaiah Allen says, obviously, Filipinos are mixed, but since foreigners from various Asian countries are the majority of expats there, are there a lot of Chinese or Korean mixed women in the Philippines? Yeah, it is. But the ones that are usually are the higher end, because, you know, the Chinese and the Koreans, they own a lot of businesses over here. But you will see them, like when we were eating at Ayala Mall the other day, and I saw this guy. His wife was obviously Filipina, but I asked Marilyn, I said, what is he? And she said, he's Chinese. You know, you could see the difference, but you don't see it a whole lot. Okay, here's Keith Porter. Here's a guy tried to get me killed the other day. He says, hey, yeah, I met 2 girls. We can take them to the hall with us if that's not going to get you in trouble. That wouldn't get me in trouble. It'd get me killed over here. She spiked my damn noodles rice. He says, hey, Brother Cal, Cebu charity event is all set. Next missions will be Butuan and Davao. Bros are doing great things in the Philippines. I'll be back in August, so have their guest house ready. One love. Yeah. You know you're welcome here anytime. He does a lot of charitable events, man. And I'm talking about good ones. He goes to the indigenous areas and, you know, but he can do that. I can't do anything like that. I would get in trouble my haters would have a field day. Yeah, I told them, I'm on a tourist visa. I can't do anything like that. I'm not a charity. I got a game. I spin a wheel, and it's on a whole different level than what he does. He really goes out into the community, meets with the barangay captains, the teachers, and all this stuff, and sets up these big events, feeds the kids, and all of that stuff. And I tip my hat to him because he doesn't have to do it. He does it with his own money. But yeah, guys, I got to get off of here. Help somebody today, man. I know it's getting late over in America, man. We got the whole rest of the day over here, TJ, to help somebody. I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to go to the store. Then I'm headed your way, TJ. Let me know, because I don't want to disturb anything. I know it's 11:33. It might be tune-up time in the Philippines, but my girlfriend told me the other day, she said Filipinos don't have sex during the day. I said, I'm not Filipino. I'll be damned. But that's what she told me. Because, see, we feed the workers here, because we want them to stay here and keep working. I said, yeah, because he might go home and try to get a tune-up before he gets back. She said, no. I said, why? She said, well, they don't have sex during the day. Really? But okay. All right, TJ. I'll see you later, man. Y'all take care. Stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time. Look for my next video. Y'all gonna be shocked. Now y'all know the last video was just a bunch of 2x2x10s, cocoa lumber and stuff like that, right? You're gonna be shocked when you see this. Only like 3 days later. Take care, everybody. Thank y'all so much for all your support.